Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice and this is English with Alice B, where you can come to learn English in a clear and simple way without the stress. My previous video was all about alternative ways to disagree with someone whilst keeping it natural and polite and suitable for both professional and social settings. I highlighted that the importance of this is that in English, and specifically in British English, we tend to keep a more polite tone. We try to avoid ways of speaking that might be a little confrontational. We have a certain way to be cool and cold and quite reserved in England. So today I thought it would make sense to do a follow-up video and tell you guys alternative ways to agree with people. You can find my video on alternative ways to disagree right here. So in this lesson, just like my last one, we are going to do 3 different levels of agreement: reserved agreement, neutral agreement, and enthusiastic agreement. This way you will have a wide variety of options to use depending on your situation. Let's talk English. So in English and in any language, agreement can often reflect your own ideas and your own personality. Sometimes we want to be polite and calm. Maybe we agree, but not completely. Sometimes we want to be quite normal, quite neutral. We want to show that we agree with someone without interrupting what they're saying. And sometimes we want to make it clear. We enthusiastically, we passionately agree with what's just been said. If you only use I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree, you might sound too formal or even a bit robotic in everyday conversation. So let's begin, and of course we'll begin with level 1, reserved agreement. Polite and calm. Okay, phrase number 1, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. Sometimes we add. This is a very polite way to agree with someone, and it sounds a little thoughtful as well. But it's slightly cautious. I think you're right. Maybe you're wrong, but I think you're right. Sounds good. It shows that you agree, but that you are also thinking carefully about the situation. Phrase number 2, that's true. That's true. This expression is very natural and very common. It shows that you recognize something as correct or valid. It validates what someone else has just said. It's often used when someone makes a good observation. And you can play with this one a little bit. You can keep it calm and, without interrupting someone. That's true. That's true. Or if they've said a fact which maybe surprises you or shocks you, you might deliver that more like, that's true. Again, your tone matters based on how enthusiastic you want to be. Phrase number 3, you might be right. This is interesting because it shows partial agreement. You're not completely committing to it, but you might be right. This is very useful in conversations where you want to stay open-minded. You don't want to get tunnel vision. Yeah, that's right. Let's do this. Yeah, you might be right. Let's hear some other ideas as well. This next one is really common in British English. I love this one, and that's I suppose, or I suppose so. It shows reserved agreement. It sounds calm and a little thoughtful, like you've heard someone's opinion and you go, I suppose that could be true. It's calm and it's super British. When I lived in England, in natural conversation, in a professional and in a social setting, you would hear this. This is really, really common. And kind of with a chill vibe, with a face that's like, I suppose. And our final one, that makes sense. We often use this when someone explains something clearly and logically. Obviously, because that makes sense. You are agreeing with someone because the logic is clear. Okay, moving on. Level 2, neutral agreement. These expressions are used in everyday conversations. They're simple, natural, and very easy to use. First one is a little bit plain and simple. I agree. This is the most direct way to show agreement. Simple, clear, and it works in almost every situation. Phrase number 2, exactly. This is natural and it shows a strong understanding and a strong agreement, but it's not over the top, enthusiastic. Well, this one depends on your tone, because the way I would use this, if I'm trying not to interrupt someone who's explaining their opinion or their idea, I might say, exactly, exactly. Or again, if I want to be a little bit dramatic, I can say, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. You can really change your voice and your intonation to agree in a neutral way. Exactly. Or to make it bigger and agree in an enthusiastic way. Exactly. It shows that you have the same idea. The third one is very, very simple, and I'll explain exactly how you use your voice to do this. This is right. Right is a very common word in English. It means a lot of things. First of all, okay, to the right, as in the opposite of left. And also, that's right, that's correct. Right can also be a way to fill in the gaps as someone is speaking. You don't want to interrupt them, but you want to show that you're agreeing with what they're saying. And it's soft spoken. As they're speaking, as they're explaining their idea, you might say, right, right. Just continuously repeating it just so that the speaker knows that you're following what they're saying, you're joining with them, you're agreeing with them, but you don't want to interrupt. You will hear native speakers use this a lot in conversation. And finally, good point. That's a good point. Very useful in discussions. If someone's listing their ideas, you may want to give them credit and tell them exactly that. That's a good point. This is sometimes followed up by, oh, good point. I didn't think about that. You're recognizing again that the speaker, the other person, has made a strong observation and a solid argument. And finally, level 3, enthusiastic agreement. This is when you want to show a stronger emotion. You may want to show excitement, or you want to give strong support. And the first one word, absolutely. Absolutely. This is one of the most common ways to show enthusiastic agreement. You just say the word, your tone matters as well. Absolutely. It's confident and energetic. Another one of my favorites is quite informal. It's maybe more slang and you wouldn't use this in a professional setting, and that's totally. Totally. It shows a strong agreement, but in a slightly more relaxed way. Totally. I would do exactly the same thing. The next one is a very popular way to speak, and that's just 100%. 100%. This is very popular now as well in modern English. You'll hear this in casual conversations. You don't really need to say anything else with it. Just as someone's explaining their idea or explaining their observation, you may just go, 100%. Our next phrase, I couldn't agree more. This is a really strong way to show agreement, but this is a phrase that people make mistakes with a lot. Often you'll hear someone say, I could agree more. This is wrong. This is incorrect. The idea is when you say, I couldn't agree more, I agree with you 100%. So it's not possible for me to agree more. I couldn't agree more. It's not possible. Make sure you get this one right, because even native speakers get this one wrong, and it just sounds really simple if you don't get this one right. I couldn't agree more. That was the best decision. And our final one, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Enthusiastic, you're showing connection with someone. I had the same idea as you. That's what I was trying to express before. It's very common and useful when people are excited about the same idea. Another variation of this is, that's what I was saying. But this is really specific. You have to have been speaking before, because what else would you be referring to? That's what I was saying before. So there you have it. There's the list. It's important to understand what level of agreement you should give with someone, also based on your situation. At work, it's important to keep your language formal, calm, polite. You can enthusiastically agree with someone, but without getting all excited about it like you might with your friend. With your friend, you don't want to come across as too formal or robotic. Remember, like with disagreeing, when you're agreeing with someone, your voice and your face and your tone matters. So pay attention to how you're saying these things. So guys, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Don't forget, you can go back, you can pause, you can take notes and take screenshots if you want to make a list of the examples that I've given you. If any of the words or phrases that I've used today have been a little difficult, don't forget to check the vocabulary bank. I explain everything clearly there. And I'm going to set you another challenge. I'm going to give you a statement, and I want you to either agree or disagree with me in the comments below using the phrases that we've talked about these past 2 lessons. My phrase is, this year England will win the World Cup. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Remember to keep it polite. Put your ideas in the comments below and I will respond to you. Thanks again for spending this time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.